Your time starts, Hal, in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
My voice is charming. My voice disarming. Got Primarchs wrapped around my fingers for the words I'm imparting. I hated Colchis. I plucked off scorpions' tails. I manipulate. I deceive. Secrets I plunder. Mannfred cries just like my fat mother. Sorry. Why can't you be more like Erebus? As I tear out esophagus. Schemes running like it's office hours. He can't even stand up to my prowess. With my anathame blade, I cut fools like butter. Teleportation and demons, did I stutter? Bro out here looking like the poster for abstinence. Calf was an act of self-defense. I cut the galaxy in two. A ruined storm like no other. Bald Gandalf over here, jealous, because Conrad was the better brother. Horus mutilated my face, and I didn't flinch. Argyltal deserved it. That's why his back felt that pinch. They hate me because they turned and I did not. Bro looks like he passed near schools for the good spot.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Lorecrimes. Way!
Yo!
And we've got an interesting episode today. Eli, could you best describe what we're going to attempt? I don't think anyone's ever done this in the history of Warhammer YouTube before, but can you attempt to surmise what we're going to attempt today?
Well, I don't. I think we have two strong contenders. We have two goats of Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, two of the best characters ever made. I think widely loved, widely appreciated for their efforts. Both are the sole creators of their own settings, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, we will have Hal defending Erebus,
God,
and Colin will be defending Mannfred, and we'll be deciding who is the greater of the two.
Do we even want to win?
You know, I would say, before we start, I'm really excited for you and me to both get a minute into the first round and then sit there struggling for nice things to say. So,
Yeah.
It's going to get real quiet shortly into each of our sections.
I feel like a pro tip would be, don't worry about nice things they've done. It's probably a better strategy to be, here's worse things they could have done. Like, oh, they didn't do this. That was a good thing, I suppose.
I have a slight confession, which is my part one will be quite, I'm just going to get the facts straight in part one. But to be honest, my part two has no facts. My part 2 and 3 is entirely slam poetry. And I'm not joking.
Wow.
So we're building up to something here for the beautiful viewers.
I'm afraid I do not have slam poetry for everyone, so this is already not looking good for Colin.
I've never won a verse.
Although I should say, neither have I. No, I think, to be honest, has anyone won other than Colin?
I've won. Fields had
won
against
me.
Yeah.
Versus Anna.
If we count the chat vote, that is. And I think we do.
The Commonwealth W L, I should say.
It's
the thing of like. I think the thing is also this episode will be unique in that the third round we're going to have a bit of a twist on how we do things. So without further ado, we've got 5 minutes for either one of you. Do either of you have a preference of who starts?
It will be me.
Hal seems to want to go first, and that's fine with me.
Okay.
Because I'm eager for Colin to be the one reacting to my slam poetry later. If people like any of our stuff, we should always say this at the beginning. We always forget we have merch.
We do have merch. I keep forgetting to wear it. Also, please like and subscribe. I beat him. I beat you, Mike. I beat you.
We're going to start traditional here, though. This is an actual fact-finding mission, and then it's just going to be... I mean, I'm not proud of what I've written later. There's some horrific lines. People are ready for these. They've already know what I haven't even written poop knife, but I should have.
Okay.
But
Classic.
I'm actually trying to win this one because I have a chance because he's representing Mannfred. So
Why did he
let's
call
do
me
this.
Cleoween?
Like
What
Little
does
Panther, I
that
don't know.
mean?
Funny.
Okay. So,
Stupid.
Hal, in the blue corner, defending Erebus. Are you ready?
I'm defending Erebus. Okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
You knew what you were signing up for. Okay, your time starts in. And you got 5 minutes. So your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Lords, ladies of the court, I would like to first address with my first point that my opponent's character is a bitch. That is essentially my
Wow.
first point. But I'd like to actually talk up Erebus because Erebus has one thing above Mannfred, which is he's an interesting character. So my pure psychotic baby was born in the world of Colchis, and like every good story, it starts off with the world is just shite. I mean, there's nothing interesting going on. It's kind of like UK, I'll be honest. It's kind of like the UK but worse. But poor Erebus was born, my dude absolutely suffered. He had a fat mother, and his dad was barely around, so he's already had the odds stacked against him. He had a terrible childhood in the desert. Like he said before, nothing interesting happens other than religion in deserts because there's nothing else to do. That's his own word saying that, not me, not directing it towards anybody. He had that terrible phrase of someone said, "Why can't you be more like Erebus?" Erebus, the little village boy who was pure and amazing. Well, you know what? Sometimes you need to adapt and survive. And why couldn't he be more like Erebus? So he garroted Erebus. And I'm not going to lie, enjoyed it. Because he's a guy who likes taking pleasure in things he does. He's a happy-go-lucky dude. So he got rid of Erebus. And he was like, why can't I be more like Erebus? So he became the next best thing after becoming Erebus, a priest. Why not? Why has he become a priest? For drinking, for gambling. My dude has hoes. Literally, like he said, he became a priest for the hoes. But sadly, like all versions on the internet, this was not the life for him. Because somebody had their little twinkle eye upon my boy. Erebus was chosen by the dark gods of chaos. The four gods of chaos went, that's the dude. Oh, yeah, move on, Jesus. So the chaos gods went up to Erebus and they were like, we can't choose Primarchs or any other being. We need Erebus. And he's just a regular dude. So they thought, screw it, let's just go for this guy. Clearly, if they see greatness, why can't we? My dude literally survived an ascension to becoming an Astartes as an adult, which is extremely painful and is extremely rare to even do. Erebus is charming. The dude is amazing to be around. Great dinner parties. And then he's like, you know what? I like this Imperium. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to make Warhammer 40k. And so my dude sowed the Imperial, chaos taint and Imperial cults around every single world. He manipulated Lorgar. He stood before the Emperor, and the Emperor couldn't sense that this guy was corrupted by chaos. I don't know if that means the Emperor's a loser, or he's just Erebus is that good. My dude's literally beaten Saul Tarvitz in combat. He's beaten Little Horus in combat. He's beaten Torgadon in combat as well. He almost beat Lucius, but again, thanks Dan having it. My dude literally glassed an entire civilization with the Interrex by stealing the Anathame dagger. Whoops. They didn't even deserve to be around. Fouls, they were disgusting, horrible, and he got rid of it. Loved it. He died, literally died, went into the warp, manipulated Horus to chaos, and then got better. My dude literally died and got better. He architected all the Isfahan massacres. So every victory is basically Erebus is like, this is my plan, bro. He trained with the Anathame blade to the point in which he could teleport between worlds. Most people forget that he can actually do that. Dude can literally slice between reality. Calth was self-defense. Calth was burned.
1 billion points to Hal.
My dude. Calth, thank you, Erebus. Bro created the Ruin Storm. He didn't need Abaddon and Cadia to throw a whole thing at a planet. My dude literally did it just by putting a few ingredients together and managed to bring this all together. Big bonus, he killed the Primarch's mother. He killed your mum, bro. Like I don't. He got her, slashed her down. He tried to kill John Grammaticus so many times. God, Dan Ablett, please let him kill John Grammaticus. The dude who literally has greater demons in his cloaks. Like he just walks around with like 4 greater demons at all times. I don't know what Mannfred can possibly do against any of that. Dude literally has like 2 different books of Nagash and thinks he's like the greatest thing ever. He literally created 40k, so we're employed by the actions of Erebus. So if anyone here doesn't like their employment, they feel free to give it up. And I mean, at the end of the day, Erebus's actions created 40k. Mannfred created Age of Sigmar. I think just leave it at that.
And your time is up. You're
You
up.
could leave
You're
it at that.
done.
Wow.
You're done.
I knew
Enough.
Erebus was goated, but
Enough.
he really is actually goated.
Represent.
I mean, I will
Are you
say
saying that
I've-
because you believe that, or because you heard Kalth's self-defense and
Oh, Hal has some good points. I don't know my Erebus
You
lore
did.
very well, and Hal's opened my eyes a little bit.
there were some solid points in between? He literally killed your mom. You know, I was getting a little bit
Oh.
lost in the sauce with some of those points,
Uh,
but they were some of them were
well,
pretty good.
I
I'll
will,
give
I
it.
will admit, I think, to be honest, as far as judge critique goes, I think I'm tethered to Hal because I've taken some notes about that. With Mannfred, my fantasy lore is a bit limited, so I think Eli is going to have to scrutinize Colin's points a bit more because you know more about the lore than I do.
Only a little
in
bit.
fantasy.
All right.
But I've taken some notes.
Bring it, Colin.
shall we
Bring
say.
it.
Colin, are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain. Oh, who lives
SpongeBob
in a
episode,
pineapple
man.
under the sea?
Here's your
Mannfred
SpongeBob episode tier
Carstein.
list.
And he's been
SpongeBob
drinking,
lore.
by the way. We should mention before this.
I have
Oh
had a
my
bottle of
God.
wine, but I'm okay.
A couple begs.
Are you
never
ready,
hurt
Colin? So-
anyone.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and begin.
So I feel, we're talking about Mannfred von Carstein, and I think the first thing I'm going to bring up is that, he's the son of Vlad von Carstein, which is already, that's heavy backing in your corner for how great you're going to be. Not necessarily great, great hero, but you're going to do some pretty great things. You're Vlad von Carstein's son. I mean, come on now. But, aside from that, something about Mannfred that I think puts him above Erebus is that Mannfred's pretty self-made man. He was gifted vampirism by Vlad, but after that, there was no backing of all 4 chaos gods in his side. Mannfred needed more knowledge, so he set up schemes to put Conrad in power, which would lead to him taking power later on, because Conrad, his brother, is a little bit of a nut job, a little bit of a fan of twisting the heads off of rabbits, and by rabbits I mean people. Meanwhile, Mannfred would go across the entire world in an age where sail travel is still kind of the best they got. He went around the whole world. He studied magic from Nehekara, Lustria, history, all sorts of different things. Mannfred did all of this himself. And on his own, he nearly took down the Empire. It took the Empire and the dwarfs to take him down, which is pretty good swinging, because at that point he was one of the only major vampires left after a little bit of infighting on Conrad's part. But let's move past that. Let's talk about Transformers for a second. You know who's awesome? Starscream. Starscream's a piece of shit, but everyone loves watching him try and beat the hell, like take over Megatron's place. That is what Mannfred brings to Warhammer. Erebus is like a lapdog for, the nearest important guy around. Mannfred he has like pretty damn big ambitions. He's like, every time he's with someone, he's going to take him down, and like trying to, and I'll give him credit. It's not, again, when I say great, I don't mean good. He got Vlad. He's the reason Vlad died. Is that a morally good thing or anything? No, we all love Vlad, but it proves that Mannfred's cunning and ambition can make him take down the people that are above him. And he's a magical powerhouse. He's one of those people that are up there with, the greatest of elves and other sorcerers in the setting, which again, he did not need to magic up some chaos blades or anything for that from his betters. He was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. And he did. You play him in Total Warhammer, he can obliterate people. You play him on the tabletop. I've seen what the Purple Son of Xerius can do. What if that formation just wasn't here anymore? What if I got rid of it? Hey, Mannfred, that's what he's bringing to the table. He's powerful. He is charismatic. That's the thing. A lot of people, when you think about the end times, he was able to convince Gotrek to fight alongside him for a little bit. You got to be pretty damn charismatic to be a vampire. Anyone to convince Gotrek to fight with you, let alone an undead. He was able to do it. Speaking of, people like to call Mannfred, by people, right now, I mean Hal, call him a bitch. For example, let's bring up, who is he ran from? Well, again, when he resurrected, Gotrek, which, you know what? Yeah, I'm a bitch too. I'm not taking that fight. I know what kind of story I'm in if I see that dwarf and his blonde sidekick. I'm out. I'm leaving. Oh, who else did he not? Nagash? I'm not picking that 1v1 either. You don't win that. And speaking of, he's got the books of Nagash, which he learned on his own. There was no cliff notes. He had to take those, find them, learn from them himself, which means he has the book of someone who on their own, he has two of the books of someone who on their own nearly defeated the Chaos Gods on multiple occasions, which, I'd have to say that's pretty damn impressive. Speaking of, he created a setting, yes, Eli, in the most generous way possible. The End Times was character assassination because Mannfred was a very cunning person, a very brilliant, cunning bastard, but a very cunning, intelligent person. But the world had to blow up, and Mannfred's right there, so I guess we got to do what we got to do. Thank you, GW authors. But from that, we get Age of Sigmar, which, speaking of, you like being employment? I'm sorry. I didn't know that I only made 40K videos. I must have gotten lost when I was looking through my catalog. AOS, he did. He made this setting with the best models Warhammer has ever seen, bar none. So, thank you, Mannfred, for that. You don't have Mannfred, you don't get the Idennet Deepkin. You don't get OCR Bone Reapers. You don't get a whole lot of beautiful model ranges. And again, he survived. So Mannfred,
1.
He's
You're
fighter.
Done. Get out of here. You're done. Get out of here. Okay, opening statements. Wow.
I think Colin confused someone who works in the modeling department for being called Mannfred, because that's not his response.
Crazy. Who made Age of Sigmar happen? Who stabbed Gelt? Who stabbed Gelt?
I mean, you lost fantasy.
Who stabbed Gelt? Who stabbed Gelt?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't.
It's crazy. Who stabbed Gelt, Hal? Yeah.
What, your boy?
Who stabbed Gelt?
You
The
say we
bold
lost fantasy as if I'm not
Why'd you
looking
shave
at my
his
box
head?
of Tomb King miniatures right behind me. I've got something for that for round 2. Don't
We
you
should
worry.
start talking because
The bald allegations will be discussed.
All right. Before you guys continue the bicker, so opening statements are done, and I focus mainly on Erebus because I know Erebus a bit more than Mannfred. So to start with Hal, biggest woe I had with your opening statements, man. He's got like a trench coat full of demons. Pretty cool. Can't kill a John Grammaticus? Bish, what are you talking about? You can't kill a John. The guy even has respawns. How do you not kill John Grammaticus? That's basic. Yeah, basic. How does Erebus get past? Can't kill the most annoying character in Warhammer. And I know for a fact Mr. Dreadanon was in the chat earlier saying whoever wins, we lose. Mr. Yeah, Grammaticus. So Dread, as my witness, how can you claim that Erebus is worse if he can't kill a John? That's so basic.
First of all, I'd argue that particularly for this setting, first of all, Dan Abnett is going to let us suffer John Grammaticus no matter what. My second point is, who else is actually trying to kill John Grammaticus, huh? You're gonna slow down, you're gonna knock on the guys actually trying to kill the most annoying character? You want to stop him? I didn't think so. In fact, why is everyone here not cheering him on? Yeah, Erebus, get that grammatic pussy. I don't know.
I mean, technically, Vulcan killed John because when he stabbed him with the Fulgurite, they both blowed.
Oh yeah, and that worked, didn't it? Looks like he's gone forever. Oh wait,
well, he's not immortal anymore. That's the thing. John's now mortal, and he couldn't kill him when he was mortal. Ugh.
Didn't you enjoy
Yuck,
him
couldn't
just
be
being
me.
hunted by Erebus though? You were like, come get it. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Erebus, get it to you.
I'm not sure
Gonna
I'm
get it
excited
to
about Mannfred killing any character. I'm not like, yeah, Mannfred, get it. There's no character where I'm
Also,
like, Mannfred is. I'm so excited to see Mannfred go attack someone.
Also,
I want
you
Mannfred
did
to
say
get it.
like Erebus killed the Primarch, the mum of the Primarchs, but let's be honest, Urda's not everyone's mum. Like Gillamum is the best Primarch.
She paid child support. It's fine.
Yeah, and
Did she?
mm,
Did she?
In spirit.
no, she was like, I'm gonna send you to like boarding school via hell. Yeet! Like that's not like I didn't cry a single tear when she was gone. I got to be honest.
Well, I'm not sure
Also-
Erebus is responsible for her mother skills, to be honest. At
What-
least he.
what
Well,
would-
the only thing he's responsible for is for ending the potential piss poor mother skills. There we go.
What would you rather have? Dad who only views you as a weapon, or mom who throws you into hell?
Yeah.
Pretty real.
There's like the move forward and move back thing, isn't it? You know, if you're sandwiched between two people, it's a difficult choice.
Al-
Yeah, you're
also, I
4
have
inches
to
in the
bristle
emperor,
about
but the herd is 4 inches in you.
4. Is that all we talking? Just 4?
Four's
420
enough.
no scope. What's going on?
I think 4 is actually pretty big. It's pretty impressive.
Is it?
Yeah, her nose is huge.
Is it? Anyway, the main point I wanted to bring up as well
Oh,
is
huge.
that Hal also said, "Oh, Erebus orchestrating the Calf atrocity." I think you'll find, sir, Corferon was a bit more in depth with the atrocity of Calf. He was the one who was the frontline commander.
Yeah, I'm sure
he was the
says
one who was
that.
orchestrating it. He was the one in charge. Like, and also, bit cringe. Erebus had his face ripped off by Horus. Bit cringe.
Is
Bit
it?
cringe.
My
The
dude,
bottle.
Is this just,
I
is
think
this just roast
my
Al?
dude-
Is it? What do you mean? Is it cringe when your
thought-
face is ripped off? It's
I
pretty
thought
cringe.
you
mean,
only got
my
one
dude-
question.
My dude had his face ripped off and stood there and took it like a man, and
mean,
didn't even
I
flinch.
mean, I guess you could have as many questions as you want. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm cooking.
Eli-
Leave me be.
Eli.
Al's on the freaking pulpit right now.
Yeah.
All right, Eli, it's your turn to rip into Colin, I suppose.
Yeah, all right. Well, firstly, did Mannfred get as close to taking over the Empire as Vlad did? He didn't, right?
He came very close, and while perhaps he did not quite get to the walls of Altdorf, Mannfred was a bit more held together, and unlike Vlad, Mannfred had to deal with the combined might of man and dwarf. So Mannfred was coming from a bit of a lesser position, as it were. And with that, he still managed to run them around for, I believe, Mannfred's Vampire War was longer than Vlad. So not quite, as explosive as a blitzkrieg as Vlad put forth, but Mannfred was able to keep it going for a lot longer. And he was able to run the Imperials and the dwarfs around for far longer than Vlad was.
And wouldn't it make more sense for him to work with Vlad?
That's why I said that he does great things, not in the sense of, great, as in that's a great idea. He does impactful things. I said again, I brought up Starscream. Starscream's a goddamn idiot, but we all love seeing him do his thing. That's how I view Mannfred. God, man, he does a lot of things that perhaps don't make the most sense, but it's fun to watch what he puts into motion just happen. Like, if nothing else, when Mannfred starts scheming, something interesting is going to happen. Which, I think that's for storytelling and reading an interesting, novel or whatever. I think that's more valid, because if the book was, Mannfred does everything super perfectly with no character, like motivations for why he wouldn't work with Vlad. It's like and then they win. But with that, we get Mannfred. We get to see what he does when he's out for number one, and Mannfred's number one, baby. Who is he sabotaging? How's he going to do it? I'm pretty interested to see. And let's not pretend that Mannfred going to the greatest thief in the Empire is not at least a little bit like fun to read about.
He just needs one win, though, right? Like, just give him one.
Does he have any?
He's gotten some wins.
Does he have?
You're
any,
right. He did successfully kidnap that elf child.
Does he have any
All right.
1v1s as impressive as the 1v1s mentioned for Erebus? Just power
I know
scale
that-
talking.
Power scale talking, he does tend to hightail it out of there, but if you'll hear me out on this one, That's because Mannfred
Okay.
shoots for the goddamn moon, which means he's not even going against the A-listers. He's going against the S-listers, which again, tangoing with Gotrek and living. I think that's pretty goddamn impressive that he wasn't just turned into Smear, which they did meet again after the first book where, they're present for his resurrection. He started fighting Gotrek, and then the sun started coming up, and he was fighting Gotrek. I'm leaving, which, I'm sorry for the lack of, the definitive kill, someone dies. I think that shows smarts for one. He dips out, but he does have some 1v1s. Like I know he did help. Like he fought Arcan a lot, which was again interrupted with Nagash saying, "Please shut the fuck up, both of you." But he's at the very least able to keep pace, with Arcan the Black, Nagash's most trusted and knowledgeable lieutenant.
Mhm.
So I would argue that's not a win, because again, Nagash would always go, "Please, the both of you, calm down." But he's able to go toe to toe with someone who's been alive for about 10,000 years and hasn't stopped, gaining necromantic knowledge since. So he's definitely up there.
I'm
Okay.
ready. I'm gonna beat this dude into 242. All right.
You're gonna
ready.
do slam
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
poetry. Why?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before we do that, should we get through some donos?
Yeah.
Oh
just
yes,
got
we
called-
did. Yeah.
I just got called sticky.
We've had
Not a fan.
Ugh. Donkey Man USA for $5.
Yeah, you-
Stream late because Hal was too busy gooning to Erebus's smooth, bald, sexy head.
He
True
does shave his
facts.
head. He does shave his head smooth.
Plastic
Do you
bag.
want to read this one?
Thank you for being a member for 8 months, Plastic Bag. Eli throwing it back when?
Thank you.
Probably never.
Oh, nice.
He's back. He's here.
He's here.
Do it.
Welcome.
Do it.
I'm excited for this stream and also gay. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jack.
Jack.
Salute that dude every time. Oh, Bunny Cop for $2 says this versus episode is going to be very whelming. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We're not gassed about this, but it has to be done. Just want to that one.
Parker Summerlin for $5.
Thank you.
I know exactly who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Alfarius probably.
And he's real for that.
Maybe he's Erebus.
He's not far off.
Mhm.
Donkey Man USA $5. I hate to say it, but today I'm Hal's strongest gooner. Sorry, Colin, I must betray thee.
So, thank you, Donkey.
Oh.
Man.
Betrayal.
I'm filled with strength.
Spectacular.
Tom Ward, thank you for the $5. Not Warhammer related, but I've recently seen online that the English pronunciation of sauce is weird and wrong. Hal and Andy, can you say sauce, please?
Sauce.
Sauce. And I need to learn if this is true. I don't know if that answers your question. I hope it does,
I mean,
Tom.
they say like sauce. We say sauce. I
Yeah.
guess it doesn't really matter.
Sauce.
Sauce.
I'm gonna put the sauce on my
Look,
sandwich.
I'm
I'm
near the-
American.
I'm near the city of Chicago, which, by the way, if you say Chicago, you need to
I'm
be
from
crucified on
Chicago. I've got to put the sauce on my
No,
sandwich.
no, you said
Andy,
it's
Put the wine
Chicago,
down.
not Chicago. Chicago.
Chicago.
No, fuck you.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Cargo.
Cargo. Cargo like my pants.
You know what? I fuck sending you to the Shadow Realm. I'm sending you to the streets of Chicago.
Brandon Wave King. I think it's a new
Thank
day.
you.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Manfred looked at the end of the entire world with him on it and still decided to betray all existence for the lols.
Dude, have you ever met a man as committed to the bit as Mannfred Voin Carstein? I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie,
Uh-huh.
Manfred and Erebus were both like, this could go horribly wrong, and they both still did their stuff.
And
so
they both sent it, baby.
would not blame.
Hmm.
Wow.
I can't read this one.
I'll read it. I was going to bring that up shortly, but we'll double back on this dono later. Lord Delusion with the 10. Erebus gets clowned on by Karn and flees with his tail between his legs. Mannfred serves the most glorious Nagash alongside all stars like the kind and noble Blood Rose Prince. Mannfred for the win. Exactly. Mannfred's hanging out with the man who deserves the world and the mortal realms under his control. And then we have this.
From
Set-
set $2.
Thank you.
Chat. I'm gay. Cast.
Hi,
Hi,
gay.
gay. Hi.
Hello.
Mr. Taz for $5. Colin views Manfred's actions as interesting. Colin thinks end times were interesting. Confirmed. We got him.
Look, they are. They're interesting, and like, you see a train wreck, and you're like, I can't look away. This is horrible, but I can't look away.
For real.
I didn't say it was good. I said it was interesting.
And Bean for $2.
Bean OG.
Mr. Franz, a second zombie board has Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Bean.
Thank you. All right.
The second Vargeist has struck the College of Magic.
Sounds like someone's breaking in.
Storm,
It's just a
Dick.
storm, friends.
Get down.
I'm ready.
Sit down. It's just a storm, friends.
Zombies.
All right. Okay, Hal.
Can I preface
3
before this is from the perspective of Erebus, a slam poetry.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll see how this goes.
Hang on.
Your
Before we
time
start,
starts
Rarest
in-
Pepe, you can go straight to hell. How dare you call me a Sturlander?
Let me just put that
Still
in
in
the
number one.
Where's Rarest Pepe? I
You
can't
glass that
Oh, there we go.
fucking shithole to the ground.
see.
Does
There we
YouTube
go.
have like
This is
timeouts
the-
and
this
stuff
is
like
the pin of
Twitch?
shame.
We don't need
Oh
to
yeah,
do it,
yeah.
So,
But
someday.
we could put the user in timeout, but I don't
That'd be
want to
funny.
because it's funny.
Someday.
And that man out forever.
We'll abuse
No.
our power someday.
Mods docs his
No.
address.
No. Anyway, your time starts, Hal, in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
This is the voice of Erebus. My voice is charming. My voice disarming. Got Primarchs wrapped around my fingers for the words I'm imparting. Fuck, I hated Colchis. I plucked off scorpions' tails. I manipulate. Oh no, sorry. I'm the man of the house, whilst Lorgar wails. I manipulate. I deceive. Secrets I plunder. Mannfred cries, just like my fat mother. Sorry. Why can't you be more like Erebus? As I tear out esophagus, schemes running like it's office hours. You can't even stand up to my prowess. Murder makes my blood run. Unlike you bitch scum who created the end sum of your whole setting. It's just upsetting how the anathema's sons are my plaything. Discount Vlad can't conquer Altdorf, but just keeps failing. With my anathame blade, I cut fools like butter. Teleportation and demons, did I stutter? Bro out here looking like the poster for abstinence. Calf was an act of self-defense. Sorry. I cut the galaxy in two. A ruined storm like no other. Bald Gandalf over here, jealous, because Conrad was the better brother. Horus mutilated my face, and I didn't flinch. Argyltal deserved it. That's why his back felt that pinch. They hate me because they turned, and I did not. Bro looks like he parked near schools for the good spot. Sorry. I am the hand of destiny. My actions created a setting. I wield monsters with one hand while he's still bedwetting. Bro's skin is like shade of calm. Whilst I killed the Primarch's mum, at least in my story, I won. That's
Sheesh.
it.
Wow. My gosh.
You still got a minute left. If
I
you
know,
want it.
but I have nothing
Oh
else
my
to give.
gosh.
Oh,
Anything else? You got a minute.
I think Chad liked it.
he's given up. He's given up.
Is that Erebus
I,
flow? Is it... Oh my god.
Because I couldn't get through it at
Wow.
some parts. I just would like to reiterate. Bro looks like he
I
parked
must
near
admit.
school for the good spot is my favourite. Bro skinned the shade of cum whilst I killed the Primarch's mum. At least in my story, I won.
Wow.
I
Very
must
nice.
admit, that's a pretty like interesting strategy to try and get some like points from the
Oh,
audience
gosh.
in the second section. We've never had a beat flow for the worst person imaginable.
Hey, at least I'm not. At least it's
No,
not like
that's,
I'm over here
I-
with bald Gandalf. You know what I mean?
And me and Eli stripped off naked during one versus, so like it was quite a bar to match. So
God.
I should say semi-naked.
I hate to say there's also a part 2 coming up.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
We're not
that is
done.
my-
All
my
right, we got
story.
a round 2 with slam
I
poetry.
can't tell if anyone's impressed or stunned. Just...
I'm entertained.
Right.
Your
Aren't we
turn,
liked
all?
it.
Colin.
Colin,
I liked it.
dare I ask, are you ready for your segment?
Tentatively.
Well, bear in mind you have 1 extra minute that Hal eschews from his. So technically speaking, you have more information to cram into 3 minutes.
Yeah,
But
I
if you are
do have to
ready,
compete with the slam poetry. I am ready, though.
could you do a rap?
No, I don't think I have that
Oh
in me.
no! I just like the
I'll
really
just
long
admit,
pause of like, no.
just on that, I do not have that in me.
Beatbox.
So
Beatbox.
the music,
Mannfred rap.
unfortunately, will not be coming from Colin.
He's Mannfred. Can't do that. Like, no. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Oh. Okay, so for the start, I think we're going to give some unconventional prose for Mannfred von Carstein. Let's say, you're a bit of a schemer. You need something taken care of. You should get Mannfred, because if he wins, your enemies have been taken care of. If he loses, which is not a non-zero chance, your enemies are weakened and Mannfred is weakened, so you don't have to worry about that taking you out in the back line. Mannfred is the perfect person to send out if you just need to cause carnage, because what he does, he causes carnage. A second zombie horde has struck Altdorf. Exactly. Everyone's weakened. It's time for you to come out. But on the topic of baldness, because I had something for this, let's say, Erebus, he's gross bald. Like, come on, there's skin flaps from when he got his face cut off and just cast mutations. It's nasty. Mannfred, imagine you're lost in the wilderness, right? You got a flashlight. You shine that on Mannfred's head. It's like the fucking bat signal in the air. Everyone is going to find you. Alternatively, you got to blind your enemy. That's like the Dragon Ball Z solar flare. Put that on Mannfred's head. No one can see. It's like a second sun has risen over the land. There's a lot of there's a lot of things Mannfred can do that, if you think about it, pretty useful like that. I would argue. But let's move beyond that a little. Let's circle back to what was said before. Mannfred is hanging out with Nagash, Arkan, Neferata, some real greats of the Warhammer world who've lived far longer than he does. And he made it to the next setting. So Mannfred is so powerful and useful to Nagash, who, as we all know, is the most benevolent, loving ruler who deserves to have all under his control. The Nagash brought him back for a second setting. That's what Mannfred does. That's what Mannfred brings to the table. And again, just you're hanging next to Nagash. That's cool. Who's Erebus hanging out with? People who hate him, people who would like to beat the shit out of him, people who have beat the shit out of him. And you might say, but Nagash does that to, Mannfred too. Only Nagash can do that to Mannfred because Nagash is powerful enough. No one else can handle it. But, if Nagash is doing something, it's good and just because Nagash is doing it. Whereas, Erebus is just getting slammed down on people for no other reason than they can. Oh, I hang out with demon primarchs. Yeah, what do they think of you, Erebus? What did they think of you? Not much. But Mannfred is a feared figure. Erebus is like, oh, it's Erebus. Ew, you're gross. Mannfred, people don't like him. But when Mannfred's around, he's scary. He fought Gelt, and as a Stormcast, and almost won, and put Gelt on the back foot. So,
3,
Mannfred's terrifying,
1.
and if you're lost in the wilderness, spotlight.
That's your time. That's your time. Wow. Okay. So, well, I must admit, coming hot off the heels of that Erebus, I don't even know what to call that. Crime against humanity might be the best term to describe it.
On both these characters, though.
That Erebus flow, but that's like the equivalent of being like, I'm gonna do like the Goering flow. Like, no, don't do that, please don't, please no, that's bad. War crimes. But Colin makes a valid point. Erebus got no bishes. Erebus got no friends. Discuss.
I have an easy response to that. Is
rap?
Nagash supposed to be his friend? Is this not the same Nagash who he read Manfred's mind when he was being resurrected and said, that little leech is going to
Although-
betray me. He resurrected Vlad von Carstein, in quote, unarmored and unarmed, and he bitch slapped Manfred, who had all his gear, and then he gave the von Carstein ring to Vlad and basically went, all right, Manfred, you can be part of my crew, but I'm actually giving your role to Vlad because you suck. And he's supposed to be friends.
Although Hal,
Am I
to be
allowed to
fair,
respond
like-
to this? Because that seemed rather pointed at me.
go for it. Go for it.
My simple response to that is that Nagash did it, and therefore there was no need to criticize it, because if Nagash does something, all is going to plan, and Nagash's will, which is all-reaching and all-powerful and benevolent, and Nagash didn't kill him on the spot, which clearly means Mannfred has far more worth than Erebus.
So he brought him to the next setting. By the way, you forgot to mention, he brought him to the next setting to punish him, to torture him, because he hates him so much.
And because Mannfred is powerful. But again, you're reaching outside of the bounds of what we're talking about. If Nagash does something,
That he had no friends. He has no
if
friends.
Nagash does something, it is the correct course of action and therefore right.
Although
I need not explain that. Chat, come on, please.
Damn,
It's
the Black
regardless-
Pyramid
such is the
always
power of
work,
Nagash.
don't they?
although
Don't bring in Nagash. Nagash isn't in this.
regardless of
You're
friends,
bringing
'cause I
him
don't-
up.
Oh god.
regardless of friends, because I don't think either of them have friends. What about family? Erebus's family is just like, oh, Erebus, you should be more like Erebus. Unknown named child, we'll call him Kevin. Kevin, you should be more like Erebus. Like, whatever happened to mummy and daddy? Seems like a bit of a character flaw to me. Not looking after your mum and dad
I
in
mean,
old age.
in all fairness, though,
Unconscious.
daddy issues is kind of the whole setting. I don't know if either of our
Manfred
characters
killed
can
his
really
dad.
defend.
Oh,
Yeah, I
gosh.
mean, Manfred plotted against every family member he's ever had. I'm pretty sure his armor is made from the dust of his family, so
Well, like Kratos. God of
No,
War,
like,
or, a
literally the
completely
ashes
different,
of-
like
he
Yeah.
murdered like other
Yeah, like
von
Kratos is
Carstein
like-
and then
his
sprinkled
family
them
are
out.
like
A whole bunch of
forever on his
vampires
skin.
and turn their bones and ashes into enchanted magical armor. This is what you call an insult. This is a point against Mannfred that he has vampiric bone armor.
If it was meant to be like how he treats family, then yeah. God.
Oh, how does Erebus treat family?
Oh, they get exactly what they deserve.
although
And the other von Carsteins.
before-
Okay, yeah, sure.
Before,
I mean-
before I pass it on to Eli, though,
Conrad's
Colin,
a nice guy.
With Mannfred, like, what's his relationship with his family, the Carsteins? Is he?
I mean,
He's not in good terms, I assume.
I would say that he came out on top, and after that, who gives a shit? Erebus clearly didn't come out on top because it's amazing. I don't remember anyone being super excited for what Erebus is doing. It's all what is Lorgar, other demon primarchs doing. Mannfred in the Mortal Realms, he's got a whole realm populated by people he made to look like his family because he's better than them and he won. Erebus doesn't get to do that. Mannfred did. So family relations, neither of them are great. Mannfred's winning, though. Erebus is not.
It sounds like someone who made loads of dolls or their family members and then said, I'm winning. Like, that is lonely as hell.
This
Bruh.
father.
Erebus
And,
doesn't have
Eli.
family. He has followers, bro. He's on a demon world and he controls half of nearly the full health word bearers legion. My dude has like resources. Mannfred has his own pocket place where no one wants to go because it's dog shit. It's just-
Erebus has one demon world of people who hate
one
him.
demon world.
Mannfred has followers and agents who are magically bound to him across 8 different realities.
How
One
lonely.
of
God, how
those
lonely.
seems a lot better. One of those seems a whole
Yeah,
lot more effective.
It does. It does.
Dutch is in the
Dutch,
chat.
So we don't
Dutch,
have any
I'm gonna
questions.
kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
All right, I'm ready for
Eli,
part 3 if we need to.
would you like to persecute these two for anything?
Well, how could you? In what world is Mannfred not trolling by killing Gelt without any knowledge of Age of Sigmar happening afterwards? He knew that the world was going to explode if that happened, and he didn't know what would happen after that, right? He had no guarantee. He had no idea that Age of Sigmar was going to happen. He just ended the world just because.
I have two answers to that. One of which is meta, and one of which is not. One of which I briefly mentioned earlier was GW decided the world had to end, and it was just outright character assassination, which is not a fate unique to Mannfred by any means. There are a whole lot of other people who put on the goofy hats and stopped making sense there. That was just the last in a long line of really bad moment. Holy shit.
Thank
Yeah.
Yes, you
you.
read the
Jesus,
comics.
brother, thank you.
Eat the comics. 50 memberships.
Thank you very
Yeesh.
much. Much
Some
love.
Thank you.
grown men argue on a Friday night.
But we'll come back to that when we're done with between rounds. But yeah, that was the end of a long line of decisions of, you know, the stupid ball being the fucking mermaid man and barnacle boy, the orb of stupidity being handed to a character and then setting them loose. In universe, you know what's great? Someone so committed to the bit, so committed to being a spiteful asshole that they take down the world out of spite. You know what? Because if I want someone to make an impact, you know, it's great to have, you know, these heroic motivations, or, you know, like Archaon, someone who's lost everything and just wants to see the world burn. Someone who brings down everyone and does it, not tries to, does it, because they're so committed to being a petty asshole, they would rather have the world blow up than let their dad win. God bless you, Mannfred Voin Carstein. You may be an asshole, but you are a committed asshole.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
And I don't
Dude is
think
literally
Erebus.
celebrating
I don't
sometimes.
think Erebus
He's-
has that in him. I think he'd pull back if the galaxy was about to be destroyed. You know who didn't?
Wow.
Mannfred. Full send it, baby. You're all coming down with me.
I mean, to be fair, Erebus is all about self-interest. That's kind of anathema to his whole thing. It's like, I want to get mine and then live forever and be greedy. And that's kind of, it was like Manfred's just like, screw it, nihilism. Oh no.
Strange to
Oh, no.
celebrate the success. Like, we're talking about two characters that are like manipulative, they like scheme, they're intelligent, they are powerful, and yet one character was like, I won my game and I got everything else that I wanted from it, and the other guy went, but the equivalent of like the child kicking the toys because some other kids got to play with it, and then this dude here went, that's amazing. And I'm like, what the hell are we talking about, bro?
One of
We
these
celebrate
one of
someone
these
acts like
people.
a child.
One of
He's
these
not as
brought
smart as
about.
he thinks he is. Clearly, if he ruined
One of
everything.
these people brought about 10 millennia of war and suffering under the
And
worst
content.
government and empire
He brought
mankind had ever
content.
known, amidst a galaxy of even worse things. And the other one of us brought about the righteous rule of Sigmar,
Not on
Malariel,
purpose, though.
Nagash.
My dude brought about.
But did he do it?
Tyranny.
Did that not happen as a
There's
direct
no
result of
Erebus,
Mannfred's
there'd be no
actions?
Yes, so.
Tyranid law. Like, bruh, you're missing. Like,
Oh my
all
gosh,
right.
they could have
Right.
just said
Right,
that the ritual didn't work and it wasn't strong enough and they lose. They
All
could
right.
have just said that.
Right.
But
All
they
right.
had
Order.
Mannfred go in and do his thing,
Oh,
baby.
gosh.
the
Right,
spoiled
order to the
brat.
court. Order to the court. Well,
Ugh.
The last round, is it?
what a second half. Yes, but before we get to the final 1 minute or 2 minute, in fact, vitriolic round, we have some donos to get through because there's been quite a lot going on in the background. So the first one from Nolan Baker. Eli, a second wife has hit the loveless tower.
I love my
Huh?
wife. Thank you, Nolan
He-
Baker.
Eli
So we
does love
pay
his
the
wife
Warcrime meme.
quite a lot.
Mhm.
Adrian.
Donkey on USA, $20. I used to do
Thank you
slam
very much.
poetry for my church. So how his 20? How did you slam poetry? What do you slam in church? Donkey, I'm serious.
Moses was lit. Duh, duh, duh.
The devil
My
was.
church is big and it keeps
Wow.
getting bigger.
Okay, calm down.
That's why Jesus Christ
We
is.
don't need more
Halt,
allegations.
Andy, pull back!
I know that meme.
It's not a bridge
Oh.
moment. Eli, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Mr. Taz, thank you very much for the $5. If Erebus has 40k haters, I am one of them. If Erebus has 10k haters, I'm one of them. If Erebus has one hater, he is me. If Erebus has 0 haters, I am dead. This guy hates Erebus. For real, for
Hell
real.
yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Oh dear.
Oh, Eldar mentioned.
Oh,
New
no.
Codex mentioned. Fulgrim. I'll just read it. JP, thank you for the 10 A's. Yanari detachment in new codex. Now they just need the crone sword off of that sussy Baka femboy Fulgrim. You're never gonna get it. You hear me?
The amount of joy the amount of joy I would feel if like they completely 180 the Yanari and had them just teabag Fulgrim and then rip the crone sword out of his hands.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
give them the loyalist Primarch treatment where they just win because suck dick Marines. That's all GW knows.
Where's the dynamic, Colin? It's like loyalist Primarchs more or less can only die once, so they can't be resurrected. Unless
But they
you
can
kill
still
them.
lose
So
a
they
fight.
can't
They
die.
can still lose and then be like.
They can lose a fight, but
carried
not by much. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's why
Although
Stormcaster better.
Ferris
Oh, who said
starting
that?
strong,
Crazy.
I'll lose a fight, beheaded. Oof. Set for $2 dues.
Sid.
Colin hit the gritty again. He can't compete.
I don't know if I can devalue that. You know,
That
that
was
was
a one-time event.
that would devalue the gritty. Spencer Bejer or Beher, apologies for whichever pronunciation. First time watching live streams, just got to say I'm loving you, goobers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also, there's an anthology on Audible narrated by Chris Tester. An anthology of what?
It's the Blood of the
Emperor's-
Emperor, the Horus one, I think. Emperor's. It's the one with Horus on cover.
Heresy.
He's Chris is often on my channel, so he's a good boy. Support him. Knickknack
Colin and
3587 for $2. How's Rhyme itself was a lore cry? Hell yeah, bro! You're here on Friday night to watch this. I need to entertain. I have the better character. This is easier.
Who's your favorite Phoenix Lord? And why is it Lycus the Law Breaker from
I don't
JP?
think she breaks the lore that
There's
badly.
not supposed to be a Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. Thank you for the 5.
Why not?
Because the armor could get lost when they get eaten by Slanesh because of the Warp Spider thing.
That could happen to any of the Aspect Warriors, though. This is just the one that goes full balls to the wall with it.
Yeah, but that's the point. Because none of the other Aspect Warriors just jump through the warp.
That's the whole point of Aspect Warrior or Warp Spiders. If that's gonna be the point, then why are Warp Spiders an Aspect? They could get lost to the warp.
All these
but
Eldar fans
losing a
bickering,
regular
just-
Eldar is fine. Losing the
just
Phoenix
white
Lord armor is kind
noise.
of a big deal.
Main
Yeah,
event
but
Virgil
that
for
lets the Phoenix
€5.
Lord do far better stuff because she's fucking committed.
And
Ayo, I thought you were doing Trench Crusade this week. That's next week, brother. Next week.
we could also
comparing
answer
two
this.
files.
Wait, there was a question in the last
Oh, sorry.
in the last donation.
It's not-
We could answer that.
Just not comparing 2 piles of cow manure. Nice of how to read a 5-year-old's English homework. Bro, if the 5-year-olds are doing that stuff.
My favorite Phoenix Lord back though was still
Colin,
I like
this is for you,
Fuegon.
I'm a Carandrous enjoyer who is dead. He's been killed by Games Workshop.
No,
He's alive in the lore.
He's
just
Drazar.
gone.
Donkey Man USA with the 5. Colin, normally I would agree with you no matter what, even the dark elf goonerness. Sadly, I can't like Mannfred more than Erebus. You know, it's okay.
Real. Also, to the guy asking earlier, we're doing Trench Crusade next week. I don't know if that was. I don't know if we said that, but that is happening. All right.
Brandon Wave King, $5. He killed the setting that had Cetra. He deserves to get his undead balls flayed by Conrad, coked up on Warpstone.
Notice how I did
Man.
not once say
Man.
Mannfred doesn't deserve horrible things happen to him. That has
Both
never
of them.
been my argument. Both of them deserve that.
Bean.
Dude, Bean, I got this one. Mannfred's bald head is smooth and very pleasing to look at. Erebus has nasty dollar store tattoos all over his scalp. Yeah, Erebus is the kind of person to go to Vegas and get a yin yang tattoo. Mannfred knows that, the searchlight has to be kept intact.
Thank you, Bean.
You know who Erebus is? Erebus is the kind of guy who'd get into like a YouTube boxing match with like the tattoos. I was like, I'm gonna fight so and so for clout. Also, JP, who we mentioned before, asked who was our favorite Phoenix Lord. For me, I don't have one. All Eldar should be in the ground.
Can't believe this guy.
Sorry.
Can't believe this guy.
There's 2 potential rightful rulers of the galaxy. It's the Eldar and the Necrons. And
That's
it's
right,
not these shit ass space marines.
That's right. We got a forehead cam there for a second. Just one shout out.
Everyone's always like, "Oh, the Imperium, the good guys should ally." Nah, fuck that. Necrons and Eldar alliance. Teach the primitives how it's done.
We got a lot of Distranta in the chat from
Sorry.
Thankwell. Distranta's really cool. He just only has a paragraph of lore.
He the
Also,
Carnix. For the was it 50 memberships earlier?
Yeah,
Was the
became
thing.
a member
Thank
and
you
then
very
a,
much.
a,
The
a
Carnix
solid.
became a member
Jesus
and then donated
Christ,
50
brother.
of them.
Bless
My
you.
word.
God
Oh,
bless
and
you.
not content with that, also $5 from
Oh,
Keith the
thank you very
Carnix.
much.
I'm sorry, I need another closed mic. Blessed Sigma. Wishing
I
you all
have
the
you.
best as always. Aw,
Andy, you
very
got to
much.
say it in the Saltspire voice.
Salt Spire voice?
Blessed Sigma.
Very- Give the people what
That
they
was
desire.
fantastic.
Creates my soul.
Oh,
Alrighty
that's
then.
great.
Should we get
Thank
to
you very
the
much, everybody.
minute of hate or the minutes of hate?
Colin worship Space Boomer. Eli, kill this man. We gotta kill this man.
Banned.
It's because the Space Boomers are just built better to everyone who came after them. It's simple.
Oh.
If
Eli,
I
you're
had
turning
if
into
I
that
had
fella.
the controls, I would ban people. It'd be funny.
What's that
Time
guy who's
out.
just
I wouldn't
like,
ban you for real.
Me Canyon did that animation. It's like banned, and then it becomes like a vortex or something.
Oh,
I can't
oh my
remember his name.
gosh. Yeah,
That
I don't
guy.
remember that guy's name. But I know what you're talking
Banned.
about. I saw that.
Dude, shout out to
Anyway,
the medical supply company calling me, but I don't have my new insurance card yet, so I can't give them the information they need. Big shout out to
Wonderful.
American
Oh.
Healthcare.
Wonderful.
Luigi, can you
Hallelujah.
know,
No,
another
yeah.
Call,
Try to
call,
monetize.
in question, who's worse, Manfred and Erebus combined, or the U.S. healthcare system?
dude, fucking
Can
Very
can anything possibly be more evil than the U.S. health system?
I do like that
dude,
video of Shadow the Hedgehog. and he's
Manfred
just
and
like,
Erebus combined between
What's that, go for it.
between the chaos and like vampiric magic, one half of that horrid being can get rid of my diabetes instead of profit off of it. I think I've got my answer. I don't even need to think about it.
I love that video of it's Dr. Robotnik going me like, I'm going to be like the most evil villain of all, and Shadow the Hedgehog's is like, oh, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to do all these things. It's like, yeah, the U.S. healthcare already does that. It's like, I'll do this. I'll do this even more evil things. Like, nah, it does that. Oh, wow. He's just like continually like being evil.
Oh, man.
Good old Luigi.
Hey, Rares Pepe, I'm also an American citizen. Yes, I know Canada has bad healthcare. Canada's gonna collapse in a year, anyways. Who cares? I'm leaving.
The West is falling.
The
We're all
Fallout
going
timeline.
down.
The Fallout timeline. Annex Canada.
Oh my god.
Trying to return to the Greenland
You know what? At
Wars.
least the U.S. is gonna have an economy that works in a couple of years. All right.
We should.
I'm
You
gonna
know what
start
we should
buying
do?
Canada.
We should use our donation money to like buy an oil rig, and we'll just be like Diamond Dogs. And
I think we need a lot of
That's what
donation
we'll do.
money, Mr. Andy.
yeah,
Buy
but it's a
Canada.
dream. We're all
Oh,
Diamond
Dude,
Dogs now.
shout out
I'm
to
Kiefer Sutherland.
Nate stacking bodies in the Northern Rockies Fallout 4, man. Nate
Oh,
Mounties and syrup get drowned in maple syrup. Shout out to Fallout 4 Nate.
Wow.
Wow.
Somebody
We're
And
said
never gonna get
Canada.
through this episode.
somebody
Yeah.
said U.S.
Before
healthcare system versus
we-
chaos cause. I think an evil characters of 40K versus American politicians would be a very funny versus episode. We get in trouble though.
Time sensitive.
Before we annex Canada, should we
Okay.
conclude
This is
tonight's
we.
debate?
What's this
So,
Please.
You speak in French?
well, oui, bonjour, attendez-vous, fermez la bouche.
Glass
How?
Quebec.
have
Yeah, real.
2
That's real.
minutes.
That's so real.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Une, deux, trois. Entendez-vous?
I once again bring people the slam poetry from the perspective of Erebus.
I'm gonna lose for this.
Oh Manfred, you bald fuck. An inferior lad and a gaseous cuck ran from Gotrek with fear like foreskin caught in a zip. He looks like he wears open. Fuck. He looks like he wears open toes. I had to breathe. I can't even get this. It looks like he wears open-toed shoes.
Don't breathe.
In
Get
winter.
on with it. Come on.
An orphan boy found in the muck of a pig's pen, a bitch who sinks in the diarrhea of hell fen. Lord of the undead, yet bitch slapped out of Kemri, The kind of guy who thinks salt is spicy. His lore is trash, filled with negative riz. He's not half the man his mother is. Vlad, Conrad, other characters are haunting. He's so white he got off with a warning. Don't get enough attention. Didn't get enough attention. To Archaon's heel, he was glued. The dildo of consequences rarely arrives. Rarely arrives lewd. God, this is so tough. Built like a pool cue. His hairline is sickening. His interesting lore is social distancing. The end times, his actions dealt. The cockwee's backstab gelt.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow,
Sorry.
very nice.
So-
that was quite
Wow.
that
With
was
Regardless of the
15 seconds to
fact I'm
spare.
going to lose because of what was just unleashed, I mean, anyone who says I am the biggest gooner can now go straight to hell after what he just said.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm laughing my head. He's not.
I don't
half
care
the
if I
man
lose
his
this
mother
anymore. I'm taking the Colin moral victory.
Well,
is. Is there any questions? Or any part you to
What do you mean?
re-clarify?
Yeah, have
so
you been
often?
taking your medication? That's mine. I know I'm
You've
not
been
one of the
taking too much
judges, but-
medication.
That's kind of the problem, really.
Yeah.
I did mess up one line. Ran from Gotrek with fear, like foreskin caught in a zipper. He looks like he wears open-toed shoes in winter.
Wow.
Mm.
Thank you.
wow.
Thank you.
He really put the foreskin bar in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna lie. We should read. We should. This is not Erebus versus Mannfred. This is Erebus versus Deck Chair. That's what Mannfred. That's what Mannfred's gonna be called after this because he's gonna.
Oh,
Erebus could fold him. Okay, Deck Chair. That's what you're gonna. That's what you're called now, Colin. Colin, it's Mannfred Deck Chair. Okay, refer to yourself as Deck Chair from now on. All right.
Just ignore the chaos. It can't really affect vampirism.
Mm.
I just
Erebus got hands. Fold.
So does Mannfred is a
Oh,
dragon.
gosh.
Fold
Can't
the
you go to
dragon.
jail? Can't you go to jail for saying things on the internet in the UK? Where's the police? Wait, what are they doing? They're laughing.
Wee woo.
This isn't quite true.
You said a mean thing about a bald man in fantasy setting. Jail. Wee woo.
Ah,
Before the
Health Ben,
cops
go
take
for Health Ben.
or the what they called? What's slang for police in the UK? Hal.
Fuzz.
It's the popo. Before the popo take away Hal, Colin, we need your last bit of vitriol against Erebus. Are you ready?
Of course, I do, but I do have one slight request if the judges would allow it. I would like an image I've just sent
Okay.
into Discord to be put on screen during my.
Oh,
Interesting.
right. Oh my god. Okay. Let me just put this here. I need to open it.
There's an inherent advantage of going second, but I needed to get this out. It was on my chest.
Thankwall is just saying the worst takes in the chat ever made. That's crazy.
Okay, let's see. Share.
Wow.
Right. In fact, are you ready, Colin?
I am ready.
Okay, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, begin.
So I feel like I could really just repeat the words Argel Tal for the next 2 minutes, and that would kind of do it for Erebus. But let's how about we just we'll move past that. We'll move him killing like the only chance for the word bearers to be anything other than the psychotic freaks that they are. Thank you, Erebus. And in fact, the person who let Karn beat the shit out of him, and then Erebus let it happen. And pretty much everyone was like, yeah, we'll beat Erebus up for fun going here forth. Why not? He just sucks. Like you say, oh, he gave us 40K. Like 40K is like a good outcome. Oh yeah. You know what that also means? You know what that means? Erebus gave us 5 million Primaris lieutenants. So yeah, Erebus gave us 40K. Hey, he gave us that. I sure am glad for the $50 fucking Primaris lieutenants Erebus gave us. Whereas if that's the ball game we're playing, fine. Again, Mannfred gave us some real good armies that I can't even list all of them. I didn't know that was the Argo, Stormcat, a whole lot of good things. The Primaris lieutenant, thank you, Erebus. See, and it's just God, Erebus is fucking pathetic. It's like at least Mannfred, it's like something interesting has happened. Erebus is there on screen. Hey, look, oh, there's one of them now.
Wow.
It's just God, Erebus is doing things, and I feel nothing but just. It's not even like powerful upset. I feel like a vague unhappiness. Like whatever else could be happening would be better, but I have no choice but to go with it. Everything Erebus has put in motion is just fucking moderately upsetting. Mannfred sometimes makes me laugh. Sometimes I go, that's interesting. Erebus is, oh, good. Erebus is here in the story again. What's he going to do now? It's going to be upsetting. It's going to be sad. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was a priest. Hell yeah. Just
2,
ignore all the altar
1.
boys in Erebus's back.
Time.
Don't bring those up.
It's time. It's time.
My favorite part is when he said he doesn't like it when he reads about when Erebus is coming up. My bro has not read a book with Erebus in it. He has not read the book with Erebus in it.
Yeah, that's how badly
He has not read the
Erebus. I don't want to read anything that's got the potential for Erebus.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's the Horus Heresy.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Crucial
Chad
points.
is doing what I thought.
Oh
Well,
no.
all I'm going to say
I did
is
not
that,
bring slam poetry to the table.
Didn't know it was an option.
all I'm going to say is that, like, I got to be honest. Like, one of the comments was like, one a galaxy, one existence, practically speaking. So in terms of scale, who really won the biggest game in town? Because I got to be honest, like, I'm not very familiar with Mannfred. But Erebus, at the end of the day, as much as he likes to tout himself as like, oh, I won the game of Warhammer, end of the day, Face got ripped off by the War Master, the actual guy inheriting Chaos who died anyway. He's second fiddle to not only Abaddon, but also his own Primarch, because he's squabbling with a geriatric old man called Cor Theron about who's leading the word bearers in Lorgar's stead. It doesn't seem like he's done anything in the last 10,000 years. Why should we care about Erebus? Seeing as it seems his glory days, his equivalent of like his SoundCloud rap days are over, and now he's a bit of a has-been. Like, well, he hasn't had a number one in a while, man.
This is where our two characters both suffer from the fact of if they're not currently an active model on the tabletop, they're not getting any love, really. And to be fair, you say Erebus is not really doing much. Bro's literally in the Horus Heresy books still now. As in, like, End in the Death, he literally still shows up.
10,000 years ago.
I don't know. It depends what. Again, he's got to be a model.
Hal, what is the Horus Heresy as a form of media?
Oh,
it is a prequel. It is a prequel. What he was doing.
It's difficult because I don't know if Erebus is gonna. I mean, I'm hoping Erebus just turns up and absolutely shoves an anathema right up Lorgar's hoo-ha. Who knows? I think there's a possibility with Erebus. I know he's gonna.
I'm not disagreeing.
I know Erebus is gonna like.
I don't disagree with that sentiment.
And something horrific is gonna happen with Mannfred. I'm like, oh, there he is. Like, Mannfred is kind of like a rat, but not in like the cute Skaven way. He just shows up and you're like, oh, Mannfred showed up again. And I hate to pivot what Colin did earlier, but in Age of Sigmar, he feels so irrelevant, and I can't knock it too much because again, in 40k we both have the same problem. Like we're both now in settings in which the characters are not fully flourishing, but there's so much good Erebus stuff. He's like when he's on screen, you're like, that's the guy who's gonna betray us all. You know, you actually kind of imagine like you loathe to see him, but then you actually like he generally makes every part of every scene he's in interesting. And then, like, he's just not a bitch. I mean, like, End Times, there's not a book which Erebus is in which it's a bad book. He's not in a bad book. Mannfred has a starring role in the End Times. Like Colin's least favorite book series of all time, and I feel bad in a way because they really like. There's no defending it. There's just no defending Mannfred's. Like I learned only recently. He was like he tried to betray Nagash, did not work, got beaten up by Vlad, then got sent as a prisoner to the Oak of Ages, left in a cage to rot whilst Vlad shone his little finger like von Carstein ring in front of him. Then he got let out, whoops, ran to Archaon, and then Archaon like ignored him because he had like, oh, you, and then he just hung around like a like just a bum, like a loser. The rest of the thing, and then stabbed
Indeed.
Gel. It's like the lore
Mm.
sucks there. There's so, no
Mannfred-
Erebus lore sucks. You're excited to see who
Mannfred
get
was a
what he
part
deserves.
of an event that, regardless of what you say about it and regardless of the quality, was at least a mover and a shaker. Erebus is part of a series that is a continuation of Games Workshop completely just diluting their biggest IP into more marine wank. So yes, those are indeed the two events these characters were a part of. One brought forth a new setting, and one is a part of another setting, ironically aping its main character faction as it stagnates into the same thing over and over and over again. Horus Heresy Round 2. We will never get anything but more Primarch and Primaris wank. Thank you, Erebus, for this endless shithole of IP murder you are slowly helping commit.
So Primaris is.
I'm an
Erebus'
Eldar fan,
fault.
if you couldn't tell.
I mean, appealing to your judge here, Mr. Andy, who clearly likes the Imperium. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it creates the most interesting setting out of all of them.
I mean, I suppose the,
All
the
right,
tricky
so
thing
I'm
is about
I'm
this
just gonna
debate.
Might.
stab you come May. Come May, I'm just gonna stab you, is what I'm hearing.
If you could reach.
All
Oh,
I'm thinking is
In the balls.
we need to make a criteria right now before we go any further. Are we grading this on who is the more hateable, or like what's the criteria for who wins? Is it I hate this
just go who's
character
the
more,
best.
therefore
I think there's a
that
just
person
go
wins,
by your gut.
or
There's a clear loser.
Nope. Whose argument did you vibe with more?
Yeah.
um.
There's not necessarily a winner, but who's the loser? Like who?
Well, here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's the
We're
thing.
both
as
playing a
much,
defense attorney for the biggest assholes in the
Yeah.
settings.
I gotta admit, as much as I enjoyed Hal's branching out into new, like his equivalent of like, I wouldn't be surprised if in a year's time we saw Hal doing diss tracks on other Warhammer content creators with the rate he's going with his raps, but or his poetry. At the end of the day, I still think, and I'm not biased because I've also lost many times using facts and logic, but I did enjoy Colin's. He actually had a lot more like.
There's no way you could walk away and say Manfred's better. How'd you look in the mirror?
Hal, it's not about who's better. It's about the. It's
I
about the
said to
debate.
you on a Friday night, the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lewd, and that
Yeah,
hasn't
you
won.
did. You did. I had to hear those words to my ears.
Wow.
And you're
I think that
glad
says it
for it.
all. Hal, are you threatening me with an unlubed dildo? Is that what's happening?
Oh,
Oh no,
gosh.
just the consequences.
I think that's a yes.
I have
Eli,
no idea what that means.
what's going on? What's going on?
So who did you said Colin won? Andy,
I
that's who you
think
vote
I
for?
would side with Colin because I
Well,
liked his arguments
after all
rather than the
that.
flair.
Um,
But don't worry, the flair was fun. But I'm like,
Eli
it was dressing a
screamed
lot
for
of
20
not
minutes
much.
and won.
yeah, and he won. That's why I'm bitter, and that's why I'm voting for
I
Colin.
had the
And
fact.
he's just bitter because
I am a bitter old man.
judgment.
Take that.
Well,
Bruh.
It's because I'm the underdog, Mr. 5 bagillion quiz winner.
This isn't a quiz.
That too.
You've won every versus.
Don't worry about it.
okay. Well, I have bad
Underdog
news.
my ass.
Well, first of all, I can't give Hal the win anyways because chat voted for Manfred. So in the end, it's impossible
Chat
to
voted
secure
for-
this for
oh.
Hal.
Oh,
But I
Bias.
tally points. I tally points while we do these, and Hal got 20 points. Colin also got 20 points.
mm.
So there you go. That's the conclusion I
tie.
came to. Is a tie.
Maybe the real winner.
He did start doing a point value counter last versus, so
Damn.
Mhm.
I should have made more
But
points.
as we see, chat.
I do have
What?
a huge question. How many points did the searchlight bald head give me?
I gave you a point for that. I won't lie.
Huge,
That's pretty good.
huge.
They're both bald as well. It's stupid.
Yeah,
because
but he's
Erebus
gross
actually-
tattoo bald.
Yeah, Manfred's
He-
handsome.
He actually like Erebus genuinely says like he actually can like repair his face. He actually has the ability to repair his face. He just chooses not to because he's
Yeah,
like,
but
this is the real me.
Manfred
Yeah.
is kissable. Manfred is kissable. Let's be real.
Erebus,
Erebus
hell,
is
that
not
would be if
kissable.
there was a cure for diabetes. And oh, I'm not getting the cure. That's the real me. Okay. What?
I mean,
That comparable?
to be fair to Eli, Erebus' face was degloved, so kissing him would be a bit more difficult. So I understand from a purely just. I don't want to kiss the guy, but if we're looking at facts and logic, I assume that's actually true. But I don't want to do it.
Well,
I don't want to.
chat, as we said, chat has voted for the Manfred victory, which would mean Colin has won yet another versus episode.
Even with slam
Somebody beat
poetry,
this guy.
there's
So
nothing I can
I'm actually
bring.
very surprised Hal didn't
getting
win.
away with
Right.
this.
I'm surprised Hal didn't win.
I
Everyone
am
hates
too.
everyone hates Erebus though. Not enough people know
Hmm.
about Manfred, I guess.
Should have attacked
crazy.
Erebus.
Yeah.
It should have been the inverse.
That's the secret subtle advantage of doing a fantasy versus is that most people don't know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, it was
Should
well
we get
fought.
through the last of the donations before we
Yeah.
sign off?
Yes.
oh boy, this
Nolan
I'm looking at the
Baker.
latest donation and that's horrid.
Cetra
horrid
is
in the
not
usual.
pregnant. My lord has tape
Yeah,
worms.
that's
You
worse.
know,
That's
Baker,
worse.
that's a
What am I
crazy-
reading?
This is an episode.
Oh,
Bean for
wow.
$5.
Thank you.
Manfred has the beacons has been lit. Gondor calls for aid. Hell,
That's
like-
the real reason you just
You
round
do
in
it.
AOS. Like the nearest other vampire just shines a light on him and the gas knows to show up.
for a creature that's meant to be stealthy. He shines bright like a diamond.
Sounds right, like a diamond.
Knick-knack 3587 for
Thank you.
$2. I'm here for the Lorecrimes offshore facility.
Dude, huge.
Is it-
We get enough.
Oil?
We make enough from lore
We're all
crimes. We
diamond
go
dogs.
make the oil rig content house.
Does someone want to donate $100 million?
We'll make diamonds from their
Lore
ashes.
Barons.
It'll be
The
good.
Lore Barons.
Tom
someone say
Warren,
something?
Tom-
thank you for the $5. Colin, I agree. It's high time we honor our greatest president, Alan Alda, and finally claim our rightful northern territory. I wish I knew who that was, but I bet it's funny.
No.
I feel as if he was a president in something, but he's just
I was
an
laughing.
actor.
I know it's because I just read the next one.
Well, you can
Dogman USA $2. House slam poetry makes me bust a fat.
Thank you, Doggy Man.
I actually put a lot of effort into that as well. It's really sad.
Robust king. Wow.
We have another Donkey Man. Thank you very much, Mr. Donkey, for more $5. Marine Wank versus more Gotrek novels. I think I know who I vote for. That's fair. I hope it's the Gotrek novels. Brandon Wave King, thank you for the $4.99. Erebus has been fiddling altar boys for 10,000 years. Yeah, Colin won. Wow,
Wow.
crazy,
Jesus.
crazy
Wow.
allegations.
It's crazy because Manfred
Wow.
actually kidnapped a child. So
uh,
legitimately kidnapped a child.
all
It's
you
not
know,
the
you know what?
kidnapping,
I'm gonna
it's not the
say, I'm gonna say it.
kidnapping, It's what you do with them.
I'm gonna say it. All right.
Bro, we're
if-
not gonna get monetized. We're so not monetized.
If Major Kill never made a video about the word bears, Erebus would have won this
Gonna say
versus
something.
episode. This is all you lost because Major Kill made a word bear video 5
Didn't
years
he-
ago. Hal,
Wasn't he a Warhammer Fantasy channel first?
I don't know, bro.
He was.
Yeah.
He made Warhammer Fantasy.
Eli,
first.
I don't know how to
Well-
break this to you, but I don't think Major Kill invented making jokes about diddling altar boys for priests. I do not
No,
think
but
that's a
he
Major
invented
Kill
it for the
exclusive.
word bears. He most certainly did start it for the word bears.
Although
Someone just literally wrote that.
I think that's a pretty
Got it
easy
right here.
conclusion to draw. The religious
Although
chapter.
diverting slightly, do you know the deep lore of what Luton started as before he was Warhammer
No, I
Man?
do not.
Oh, he did like Call of Duty, didn't he?
Battlefield.
No.
He was a Battlefield creator.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Well,
like gaming.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He did Battlefield.
Wow.
What?
And then he did Warhammer and it kind of went poof. That's why his logo is like the yellow on white. It's like Battlefield colors.
Oh.
crazy. Colin used
yeah.
to be feet.
Would you say Putin did?
Wait.
Humble Guardsman for
Thank you,
$5
Humble
Canadian.
Incorrect.
No career change.
Hey guys, would you rather share a bed with Jurgen for 2 months or share a toilet with Greasiest Goldtooth for 3 weeks?
Bro.
And it's taco night every
This
night.
was-
That is true. Can
I have a
just die?
feeling with Jurgen, you could at least like wrap him in enough blankets that it would like suffocate the smell, and then you could just be like taco him in, and then just be like, "You sleep on your side, I'll sleep on my side," and it won't
don't
be as
know,
much
'cause
of a
there's-
problem.
There's like hints.
Sheriff
There's like hints,
Corner.
like sometimes like it's hinted at that his smell is like how his blank, like the bad feeling you get around blanks manifests for
Get
Jurgen.
used to it.
He just
I thought he
smells
was
like
possibly
shit.
a pariah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
it's a blank. Well,
Well, you
That's
could
a
put,
tough question.
either way, like
What-
yeah, I know.
What's that?
Just
What's
taco
that?
night every night.
But what's that thing that like like
Like, do I-
morticians put in their nose so you don't smell bad stuff when you're dealing with bodies? It's like it's not Vaseline, but you put something in your nose and you just smell
Yeah.
that. It's like you can, and your body will
Maybe.
eventually get used to the smell
Maybe.
over time. You'll just
Yeah,
not
but-
smell it anymore.
Maybe.
I mean,
The
you'd have some
destruction-
No, I
banter.
don't know.
You'd have some banter.
Am
The
I,
destruction
am I
of
allowed to like
breeze.
shit outside?
Yeah,
if
like
I can shit outside, I'll
like-
take the greases toilet. But if
Yeah,
I
but you wouldn't
have to be in
downwind.
both these situations, everywhere is downwind from that abomination. Hal, there's no escape.
Yeah.
It's like that's a chemical bomb, is what that is.
Thing
I
is,
think if I
you never
have to go
know-
with one of these two,
go for it.
if I have to commit, I'll go with Jurgen. But if I have if I can shit in the woods, I'll take the Greases one.
Mhm.
The only thing is,
You'll
Greasus could
hear
like
it.
eat a demon, and then he wouldn't digest it properly. Then he'd leave it there, and then you go to and then you sit there and go and then it's attacking you because it's sturdy. Like Warhammer Fantasy is crazy.
I couldn't hear
Wow.
the sounds of battle that Greasus is having. with that.
Anyway, next question.
I think I choose. I think I choose the Grease's toilet.
This was the toughest question I've ever
Oh.
had to answer.
We got a Lethbridge reference. While I'm getting doxxed right now. Maple Scaffolder, thank you for the $2. Eli, stay safe out in Methbridge. Love from Alberta. Thank you, guy with dog profile picture. I appreciate it. This is not a
Wow.
great city. Dragon Tamer, thank you
got
for
meth in
$2. Eli Screaming Beal 10 was the best thing so far. I appreciate that.
And last
It's a
one
Mannfred
from
PFP.
Snadder. Oh dear.
Knock for
Who's
50.
this for?
Your stream on Lawbeards was amazing, mate. Amidst the Space Marine slop of the far future, a brave Sigmarite stands eternal vigil.
This is for Colin.
Hmm.
Columns, this is your. Oh, really that for.
I think the last donation was directed at Colin. Colin himself.
Were you, do that, Colin?
Your stream on Lorebeards was amazing, mate. Thank you. Amidst the Space Marine slop of the far future,
Yeah.
a brave Sigmarite stands eternal vigil.
Pretty real. He's about to die.
Just for you. Blessed Sigma.
Wow. True
I don't know
hero.
why I get so much
True
joy out
hero.
of doing that, but I do.
Well,
To be fair, we do too.
and
to be
Tom
honest.
Warren explained his Alan Alda donation. Alan Alda played the president in Canadian Bacon, a 90s comedy about America starting a new Cold War with Canada. Very nice. Potentially
I don't
closer
have
to
a
reality than I
Bro,
like.
the chat is diabolical at the moment. I can't even read some of these
Truly.
out because they're
Truly.
horrific.
Can we get an Elon Musk inauguration emote?
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
Should we get caught there then? Just before.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Before things escalate even further.
Thank you,
But,
guys.
thanks everyone for all the donations and
Thank
the
you very
support.
much.
It was a fun one today, but realistically, Erebus versus Mannfred. Let's be honest. There were no
Yeah.
winners tonight. This was just who wants to win the third sandwich. You won upholding the two worst people ever created in fiction. Amazing. But it was good fun, and I very much enjoyed Hal's musical talent. I hope we will see more in the future with his poetry.
Trench Crusade next week. Pretty big.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys all very soon. Thank you.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Love you. Thank you very much.
Bye.